Good night, folks. Have a good night.
Hey, it was nice to see y'all.
It's been a great show, man. I learned a lot of interesting things tonight.
Man, I want to thank all the great sponsors that came through tonight, showed love, gave back thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It was so crazy. It's been a great night. We want to thank Tino for hooking us up with the Growers Choice Lights company. They hooked us up with 16 720 ROI lights to give away. We gave those away already.
Let's go, Growers Choice.
Shout out to all the winners. You know,
right?
Those that didn't make it, man. Hopefully, you guys can come through next time. And
Twisted blessed us all with undercurrent systems. Shit, best night ever.
Everyone that wasn't here, I'm sorry you missed out.
Gave out 19 batches of frozen cheesecake.
19 batches. What's up, everybody?
Shout out to Snoop Dogg for coming to the live and
right,
smoking with us.
That part. That was the best part. Shit. Fuck that Kaiser Knott was here. Shit, Snoop was in this bush.
Yeah, congratulations, John. You already know. You just got to hit Tino up for that.
I think he had one more set of undercurrent on the board.
What up, John? Deb Rose, G Babe, Victor, the original Biggs, Figs, Filthy, Kool-Aid.
What up, everybody? What up, man?
Chuckles, Cena, Don Nugs, Mirko growing that fire, huh? Trying to learn how to grow mids? You're in the wrong place, my friend. What up, Marks? Amanda?
Somebody wants to learn how to grow mids? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Shit, I got you.
Right,
That's what I specialize in.
Yeah, he's the mid king.
Right here.
He's claiming it.
Mids over money. Let's go.
Mids over money. Oh, hell no.
So, sorting some seeds over here.
There's a lane for everything, man.
Right.
But unfortunately, he's not in here tonight. But we can link you with the mid king for sure.
Shit, they missed me, man. Motherfucking Twisted gave out 19 bingo boards, man. It was crazy.
What up, Trent? What up, Don? You guys missed all the good stuff, man. We gotta go. No.
Right. Spooky gave out 3 free rentals of the Benz truck. Man, it got good. Hey, Twist, don't add that. Hey, don't add that page. That's backstage.
He said, "Don't add that page. It's staying there." Put them in pots tomorrow. Let's go down. What up, Ronaldo? What up, Trent? What up, Doug? If anybody wants to show their grow, if you got any questions about it or anything, feel free to send it to one of us. You can send it to me, Facebook, Instagram, email. Whatever way is easiest.
Let me see, man.
Well, so grind it up. I'm over here working.
What you doing? Shucking seeds?
Yeah. It's the April-May run.
Okay.
Outgo.
You gonna name them strange Strawberry Moon, huh?
Strawberry Moon. Yeah.
Man, stop giving away my name, huh? I got zombie chicken and strawberry moon already locked up, man.
God damn. He's talking about this shit 2:00 this morning, y'all. Listen. That motherfucker say I told him to do a strawberry on crack. I'll do strawberry crack. I do the animated character of a strawberry smoking a crack pipe. He talking about a strawberry with plumber's crack. No.
Yeah. Cancel.
I think we're supposed to have a guest on today. I'm not sure though. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work.
I guess they.
I guess so.
He said
Guess I
something
would've
about
guessed.
he's not going to be here, so he doesn't know.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
I guess.
Pizza gang in it.
At college. At Amherst.
Let's go.
UMass.
So Tino, what you got going on over there? I see you working your ass off in that heat.
Yeah.
I'm over here. We're just sorting up the seeds. Break them down and run them through the seed sorter. Run through the old seed sorter. That's about it.
What strains you got over there? Is that the green cherry? Is that the new green cherry gelato one?
One bridge that goes to
Yeah, it's just the green cherry.
white people. I'm the only
Okay.
one smoking weed up there.
Yeah, I think green cherry's the new mouth. With a bunch of stuff. This right now, I just did the Kim 91. We got it too.
Somebody said a bunch of white people smoking weed.
We're gonna be sending out some testers. Who's got some questions? Let's go. Who's got some grow questions? We got D-Babe in the house. Let's go. Young in the house. Let's go.
Estevan. Say my
Right
name.
here. Right here. Oh man.
What a
man?
best
Ready?
man. I'm going to put this link in. Make sure you guys are all on the main page for the live. Join the live comments. It's where everybody else is. That's where we won't be shutting down in a little bit. All the other ones will get shut down.
I'll be back down.
So get over there. Don't miss out.
I ain't even putting my link in no more. So they just got to come over here. Pause.
He said they got to come over here.
Thinking about putting mine on right now.
Yeah, it's just
Tell everybody that's live.
we're live over here. Motherfucker. We already know where it's gonna be at. Might as well just go straight to here.
Yeah.
I see Twisted with that joint getting to the point.
Yes, sir. Anybody else pop beans last night during the full strawberry moon? I did. I popped some Boneyard Cujo, some Tinos Parm Diesel, some Spooky Jack's One Cross. This is the XL. I'll check those tonight, see if they're ready to get put in their plugs.
Let's go. How'd you pop them?
Half a bottle of water with about a shot of peroxide, and I leave them in there for a day. Usually they're ready to go in plugs. Like tonight they'll be ready, or if not, at worst tomorrow night.
So you do the float method?
What's that?
You do the float method? You float them?
I just put them right in the bottle, and usually they just split on their own. So
Yeah, they're floating in the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm about to try that.
The
Never
float.
had an issue with it. So I mean, unless they're old seeds or just
A little
super hard
shot of
seeds,
peroxide.
So
Right. Crack them. Pre-crack them.
Yep.
Pre-crack them and then throw them in there.
What a Diana.
I think I'm gonna try that with some of my other ones.
If they're the ones, if they're the ones that don't want to pop after 48 hours, I'll definitely crack them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Timothy Barker, Wera, Rachel, make sure you guys get on that link I have pinned over there on Facebook. I'll put it in for you guys again. That way you guys see it. Join us over on YouTube. I see Diana made it over. We're live this time, Diana. We're live this time. She popped in on one of the lives late. She's like, why you ignoring me? We're not, I swear. I swear we're not. We're just not live.
It was just a recording. That's funny.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen it happen so many times. So many times. I've done it myself, hopping alive on YouTube or something, and I'm like, damn.
That's fucking
Let's
funny.
go, Diana.
It sucks because it says live. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's where this shit was live. They should have a feature on there then if it ain't actually live.
Let's go, Ronaldo. What up? So who's got what growing on over there, out there? We got 36 people in here watching.
Anybody try the Toblerones?
I'm trying to get a zombie chicken.
A zombie chicken, yes. Hang on, 6 zombie chicken am. See my hatching eggs. I found them on eBay. What you know about
What?
that? $30.
Is it gonna go black though?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I need a. I
They
need
have
the
some
black
of these. Yeah,
one.
they
I
have
got
these.
one.
I think it's
That's
more like.
Yeah, I need one of those ones with the blue and green. You feel me?
Yep. We'll pay extra for that pheno.
Oh,
Hell
God.
nah. Spooky got to hunt that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said he got a hunt.
make sure the dog don't kill him this time.
Right. As long as the dogs don't stop the hunt.
Man, that shepherd was eating, nigga. Free food.
Blue, green, purple punch. Pie maker. Pie maker R2 is the name. It's Pie maker 13 to Pie maker 28. Let's go though, Ray. Orange Turp's hot right now. Oh my god.
Are they?
These guys really. Hell no. Maybe in Michigan. Sorry, Michigan people. They love the super good. At least properly named.
All right. So Amanda sent these in. Amanda, what you got going on in here? What you got? Litt, I know you were just talking about the time lapse. Look at that. See? Time lapse, recorded time lapse video. This is from that Vivo Sun setup, their camera setup.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Beautiful black ducks. So that's what's up.
That's what's up. Blue and green in the sun. I like that, like oil slick, Diana, like an oil slick, because that's what we were looking at with those zombie chickens. Here, I'll show them real quick.
Yeah, so we're the one with the blue and the green and the oil sheen.
A little oil slick look. Look at this. Look at these. These are dope. That one right there in particular. There are 5 weeks and 2 days. The left is candied muffins. Hold on. Hold on. Not to be mistaken with the candied cupcakes. Just throwing that out there.
Oh.
Candied muffins, and the right is Yeti Mythic Genetics. Okay. Okay, Amanda. I like that Vivo Sun did that with the time lapse. You can do that and everything now. Okay.
How many different angles do you get with it?
It looks like this says camera 4, so I wonder how many cameras you have. It says Grow Cam C4. So I guess it's just however many cameras you get with the system. It almost looks like how like Amazon or Blink or Nest, how they have their cameras set up. That's what the app looks like.
Mm.
What up, Cindy? Seen you sent some pictures as well. 5 weeks, 2 days. That's awesome. Okay. So Diana said yes. Her ducks are that. We got, let's go over here. We got Cindy. What'd you send, Cindy? Okay. She got the outdoor big pots going. Tino's strawberry bonbon. Okay. Those are the grow off seeds.
Yeah, I need some Tinos.
What up, Uncle Lemur? Quack it.
Lemur in the house. Strawberry bonbons in the house. Let's go.
What kind of flowers was that was in there with it? Nice.
What are these, Cindy Paul? What are these? What up, Jenny? Jenny, make sure you join us on YouTube. Hit that link. Marigolds.
Some marigold.
Marigolds and marijuana. They go hand in
Marigolds and marijuana, right?
Go Tino, go Tino, go. Go Tino,
Let's go.
Checking them seeds.
Y'all missed this shit. He shucked 3 plants and gave all the seeds away. Shit, that boy sending out 1,900 pizza boxes tomorrow.
Let's go.
Strawberry souffle. Let's go, Chuck.
So this is right here, strawberry souffle with the bean series. The new.
Pull this out. Close that. Let's see what else we got. What else have we got?
What is that going down into?
It's like a seed sorter, but it's just small.
Oh, okay.
The same thing. The air comes out right here. It goes in the front.
Yep, the drawer in the front.
Goes in the front, the air, you know, and then it's got the up thing right here and the screen.
Okay, where?
See, I like that.
At first, I didn't know what it was. I was like, "Is that a box?" Just like, what is it? What? Man, let me see what that is.
Small.
That's crazy. It do look like a cardboard box.
It does.
But we should know better with Tino facility over there. Shit.
So I know Boneyard brought up a good thing earlier about airflow in the grow. And and like I said, I seen that guy's reels and I seen a couple interviews with him pop up about how he's talking about he's going to be devoting some rooms to actually testing out what the perfect airflow for cannabis would be as far as like velocities and direction and all that.
Yeah, I caught a little glimpse of something and it caught my attention.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird that you brought it up today like that because I've seen it all week, literally all week. So I was like, yes, that's a great subject. Now, what do you guys do for airflow? Personally, I have a couple fans in there, a couple of the 16 inchers.
Yeah, it's really important. We've talked about a long time ago, like CO2 pockets. You know, leaf temperature really matters. A lot of people want to do the VDP in their room, but they don't want to do the leaf temperature and just all kinds of stuff. I feel like there's 3 layers to the room, maybe even 4. Above the lights, in between the top of the canopy and the light, in between the bottom of the canopy and the top of the pots, and then of course the floor, or if you're running a rack underneath the rack.
Yeah.
You know. So you got to
No,
kind
that
of
makes
see it
sense.
as all different areas that you need to be hitting. And yeah, that's a good study. At least, you know, it's surprising that they don't already have shit like that done, but you know, back to the basics, simple science, building rooms, testing them. That's, you know, that's how I did a lot of my fins with my HPS room, and a lot of the stuff is just all off of trial and error and testing. You know?
Spooky, you're not here. We don't see you. He said, "I'm here. Don't be mad."
I have some box fans on the floor.
Yeah,
on both sides of the room. And I have a couple of wall mount fans.
I love the box fans personally. There's nothing wrong with those at all.
They're a little bit higher than they're a little bit higher than my lights. And then on the other side of the room, I have an air conditioner that blows the air this way towards you. You know what I mean? So it kind of gets like a swirl effect throughout there. What I'll do is I'll take like a lighter and I'll just go into like corners where I feel like it's not any air movement and see if the fan will ever blow that lighter out, you know. If it blows that lighter out, you know that you got some good air blowing over there.
That makes sense. I like that. I never really thought about testing it like that. I like that.
And, you know, you'll see it like if it's going to be like blowing hard or if it's, you know, barely moving it at all. You're like, yeah, maybe I need a little bit more. So maybe you'll probably put like a fan or something over there to like suck the air that way.
Okay. Now you got me thinking I might have to move some stuff around. Move some stuff around and do a little lighter test.
Yeah, check it out. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, this ain't much, but you know, it's usually high up in the air.
Yep.
So you still want to get that shit moved around.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Joshua, what up? Terry D, make sure you guys join on that link that I have for YouTube over there. Get in the main chat with everybody. We're going to be shutting those down in a little bit.
And I'm in sealed room, so you definitely need that air movement floating around.
Yes. In the sealed room, absolutely.
Same here, still.
But don't skip out on it. If you think you need like a 12-inch wall mount fan, get 2 18-inch wall mount fans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just put them on both sides of the room. You know,
now, do you think
right?
Do you think there could be too much air movement ever? I've never really heard anybody say anything about that. I mean, obviously, you don't want a straight up wind tunnel in there blowing shit across the room, but
yeah, I mean, as long as it's not smacking the shit out of your plants, you know what I mean, where it's just beating them up.
Tra la la, Mr. House.
What's up, man?
What's going down? Shit, let's go.
Good. I got a little bit of a tan, and ice picked me up.
I was waiting for you at the gate so I can.
They sent me to parts unknown, man. I had to trek my way back.
Shit.
Is he here?
Yeah, you here?
Is he talking?
He's talking.
You can't hear me?
Oh my God! Why can't I hear this?
But shit.
Look, I'm talking on a new phone too, so there's no way. Yeah, I think it's the StreamYard thing.
Are you going to StreamYard through the
app,
through the browser,
through Instagram? Like
through a
you're just
browser?
clicking the link on the Instagram and it takes you to it?
No, through the text message, and then through the browser.
Okay, so you copy and pasting.
What up,
No,
babe?
nope. Just click on it. Took me right here, and then put me right on the screen.
What up, Void? How you doing, Void?
Put me right on the screen.
And you clicked on it from the DM though, right?
No,
Right.
I clicked on it from a text message.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Can you hear him now?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good. You guys can hear each other. Let's go.
Perfect.
So to me, it's a StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. But at least this time he came back and you didn't have to leave, you know. So it worked out. It worked out
Man,
quick.
Tino, unblock in house. We tired of this shit every week. God damn it.
Now for blocks.
So we're talking about the importance of airflow in a room.
Yeah, you can never have enough airflow.
There you go, Twisted.
So I was just asking, has anybody ever heard? I've never heard of it having too much airflow. Again, like I said, I know obviously you don't want your shit flying around, so
Well,
you don't want that much, but
you can wind burn the plants. You want constant like airflow, which actually helps mitigate a lot of things. Prevents from normal contaminants and dust. Bugs hate it. There's a lot. The more airflow you have, the better. You just don't want a fan directly on top of the plant, just blowing on it. It'll get windburned. Plus, it keeps the leaf temperature down too, in case it gets too hot.
that's what Tino was just saying about leaf temperature being important as well. A lot of people don't check that.
Yeah, because you have like ambient temperature. You have a lot of times it's good to put your thermostat or inside your canopy, so it gives you kind of a general idea of what the temperature is in the canopy, because you'll have different temperature from the floor to the mid, and then up into the top of your room or in the top of your tent.
Yep, that's what he was saying. The layers.
Yeah. If you guys look at Tino's room, he's got fans pretty well spread out, and it's coming down. It looks like it's coming down at an angle, so he's got some kind of it's like a vortex, kind of a whirlwind going on.
Yeah, that's what Boneyard was saying too. You got them pushing in and sucking out and going around, and you know what I mean?
So I saw that Litt was talking about you.
Well,
You harvested about 10 plants and gave away about 10,000 seeds. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So vapor void, you're absolutely right. Circulation is different than from air exchange. So actually, that's a pretty good thing to bring up. You want to get, unless you're pumping in CO2 into your room or your tent, it's important to exchange the air in your room, because the oxygen levels will rise and it'll deplete all the CO2. So essentially, your plants aren't taking in anything.
Yeah, I have a fan in and a fanned out as well for that reason.
Yeah, we all run sealed rooms, so we got to pump in the CO2. But yeah, it's very different. You still need airflow, even though you're pumping in fresh air. You need to move it around. You can get CO2 pockets. These fucking plants suck up the CO2 so quick. You'd be surprised, how quickly the plants will suck all the CO2 out of the room or part of the room. You don't have nothing moving around.
Now, Merc, I have I agree with you on this to a point. Having your RH to 70. Now, if you're running, what kind of lights are you running if you're running it at 70? Because I don't know. I haven't run HPS in a long time personally, but if I ever tried to run a 70% humidity, it'd be hazy in there almost, like you couldn't breathe.
I was doing it after I ran the LEDs. It made me a better fucking HPS grower. Running
running it higher
definitely helped. Super high, yeah.
Okay. I run my humidity high with
but you gotta have CO2. You gotta have. You can't just do that without having your room set up right. You know.
Okay. Mark says, "Do you believe CO2 is only important 2 hours on?"
Hell no. I mean, what are you pumping it all the way to 1500 and letting it suck out? That's dumb.
That's a waste at that point.
So hold on. He's pumping it up to how much? 1500?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to know why he's only doing CO2 every 2 hours. That was my assumption.
Or
so that's a pretty good
on, period.
There's a pretty good debate on that because, like, the CO2, people will pump CO2 throughout the whole light cycle, right? So all 12 hours. But I think it's gonna from my experience is when the lights are coming on is the best time to pump and fill your room up with CO2, and then you take it up to, depending on what week you're in. So say you're in week 6, week 5 or 6, you're going to pump that room up to 800, 900 ppms. And then once it gets up to that level, then you let the plants take in the CO2 and deplete the CO2 if you're working in a sealed room, you know. Do you run CO2 the full time?
Well, yeah, I do the opposite. I'll run it higher in veg. And then I'll slowly start to taper it off as I go through my flower. I mean, but I'll still have it the whole time, you know. I pump mine though high, and you know, over 1,000, and then I'll slowly taper it off. But I'll leave it in there at least 800 to 600. I mean, at the end, I'll probably put it at 600 when I'm flushing.
Yeah. So so the vapor void, circulation with no air exchange could lead to issues as well. Yeah.
Not really.
If you got, but he says you need fresh air or unspent air. So you can supplement air by inducing CO2 to it. That's replenishing the air. That would lessen your need for any sort of air exchange. If you have air movement, that's keeping the, because if you guys ever seen, like, when you're just sitting there and the sun is shining through like the window and you can see particles in the air, you know, it's like even as you just sit there and walk around, you got skin flying off of you. So if you have air going over your canopy, that it keeps the dust from building up onto your leaf, you know.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta go handle this neighbor issue real quick. So if I'm not back in a reasonable time, just no, I'll be back.
If you're not back in like 20 minutes, we'll start a GoFundMe for bail.
We're gonna start giving away your packs.
Okay, yeah, start with Tino's first though. No, I'll be right back. It shouldn't be an asshole, but it sounds like it's an asshole because my girl can't take her. Let me go over here and regulate. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, the CO2 helps things open and take in all this light. Yeah. So that it's definitely a critical part of photosynthesis because if you deplete the CO2, then when you deplete the CO2, then the plants will it stops the growth phase. Also, another reason why it's really important to have air movement is because on the tip of the leaves you can create like a microscopic kind of airlock to it. And you guys are familiar with that at all?
Oh, what?
So if you have lack of air movement around the tips of the leaves, you can create what is equivalent to like an airlock where it will draw in the CO2, and then there's like it's like keep it like an air perimeter around a leaf if you don't have adequate airflow.
Oh, no, I never heard that. You're talking about the stigma, whatever it is.
Stomata? Yeah.
$40.
Yeah. So the sealed rooms get zero CO2. Merck doesn't even know what CO2 is. Never heard of it, and so he don't mess with anything. Yeah. So turf tacos, on the edges of the plants, it'll create kind of like an airlock on it. It's inadequate if you don't have adequate air movement, like down inside the canopy, all that. So but like when you change, like if you have a sealed room and you open the door, that'll create a vacuum which will draw air across it. You know, you have ways. There's ways that air will eventually move, but you want to manipulate the air and keep it moving. Sealed rooms, it lasts. I mean, it does, but it also too, when you introduce CO2, you got to compensate because your temperature is going to rise. Your temperature is going to rise quite a bit, anywhere from 3 to 10 degrees when you do that. Merc, I do air exchange now, so don't fill them. Well, during the summer months, during the spring and summer months, you're good with air exchange if you can maintain and keep up on your IPM. Sorry, I just going through the comments here.
Yeah,
there's some pretty good comments here. What up, Spooky?
Like an aura or super. There you go.
Hey, Merc, how's it going?
What up, Janet?
Yeah, that's true. So the CO2, like I always used to like remember when you could install a ring around your grow room, and it was basically just the 3/8 inch tubing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it had holes in it, and you just hooked your CO2 and your regulator and your ppm meter up on the wall, and then that way the CO2 is heavier than air, so it would drop and go through the canopy and then disperse through the canopy and ultimately, end up on the floor. Nice, Merc. Let's see what else we got here.
Okay.
Good, Vapor Boy, you should join sometime if you get around to it.
Yep, that's the Void that joined us over on X that time.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Yeah, we got to get back into that. I really like those X talks. For you guys, I don't know if you guys are like, if any of anybody out there that's like boycotting X because of Elon or whatever, I don't know. But Twisted and I have held some spaces, some X spaces, and the conversations went exceptionally well. And it was like kind of basically open topic. And then we had a few people come on, and then they started contributing. And then some questions were asked, and then the answering sparked a big, huge conversation. There was one that lasted over like an hour. Another conversation we had, I think it was almost 2 hours plus. So it's pretty cool because it's just audio only. And what Twist and I have been doing is just inviting everybody that comes in, have the opportunity to like jump on. But yeah, there was some couple of those conversations were really good.
Void, check your inbox on X. I sent you a link if you want to hop in and
oh look, y'all got X. What the hell?
Yeah, X, man. You know, Twitter.
Yeah. Right?
It's still Twitter to me. I don't care.
Oh, you'll never get out of it being Twitter. I mean, it's always going to be Twitter.
I think the legal name's still Twitter. He just switched to the X for public shit.
J&J, we have we had a collab. We had a collab a couple years ago that was called Flight Plan.
Weren't they box sets that went out? I believe some of them are box sets, if I remember.
I believe so, yeah. That was, I want to say that was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's crazy, man. When you start thinking about the time and all kind of starting to kind of like blend in, mesh in. Kayla Bosch. Boucher? Is that Bosch or Boucher?
I believe it's Bosch. What up, Kayla?
Bosch with an E.
Probably Boucher.
It's like the drills. Bosch.
No, that's because there's no E in that. I was still.
No, you're right. There's no E in it.
No, but so is it? I wonder if it's Boucher because the CHE would be. That'd probably be French. I don't know.
Whoosh.
What's Merc? What's a Merc?
Merc owner. Only thing I know about Merc is you want to avoid it when you're in the ponds, you know.
Merc is a fucking idiot.
Only thing I know about Merc is it's short for mercenary.
Oh, there you go.
There's one I can pronounce. Jared.
J Buds. What up?
Yeah, J Buds. Yeah, no. So anyhow, if you guys don't have an X account, start an X account, and you really only need to follow Twisted or In-House. I think Tino's finally got over to X, right?
You got Spooky Fortunes, Tino's Genetics, Litt Snacks, or Underground Lit.
Litt hasn't joined X yet.
Make sure you follow the right in-house.
I've been over there for months.
Oh well, okay. Well, I didn't. I don't see you following me.
You follow me on that motherfucker.
But you see that though. I follow you, but I didn't know you had an account because I don't see that you follow me.
You. What you talking about? That's some bullshit.
Murky Waters. What's going on, Jaren? Is it Jarin or Jarin?
That is Jaren.
Oh, yeah,
Jaren.
Jarin.
Yep.
All right.
Merc is a new Cannabis vibe.
Oh, look at we got someone on X watching right now. Let's go, Cindy Paul.
Boomies Shroomies. That's a pretty cool name.
Merc is a new. Let's go. You made it. Christy, hit that link I have pinned over there. Make sure you get into the right YouTube because we're going to be shutting down all the other links in a little bit. So we want to make sure all 55 of you are over here on the right YouTube all together, being able to conversate together. There's 36 people there. What up, Thomas?
Babe.
What you got with nitrogen? All right, nitrogen.
All right. Yeah, the Pearl 77. What's going on? Yeah, I would say can't have enough air movement. Just make sure you're not putting a full blast right on top of the plant so they're moving. Also too, as the plants kind of shake and move with the wind current that you create, it makes the plant that much stronger. So if you guys have ever noticed where you've had lack of air movement in your grow, all the branches are kind of whimsy and the leaves are weaker. The whole plant is kind of weaker. Okay, so my apprentice Redna, he made it big in the bug world. You guys ever seen the movie Fly? Yeah, they're coming out with a new version of that, and Redna's the star in it.
And that shit was so disgusting. Oh my god.
Yeah, he had it. Look, he had it down. Like he was like, man, I got every bug in here. I was like, you sure do. No, real deal. I haven't heard from him in I don't know, at least a year. Last I heard, he moved up to Alaska. I think him and Lineworks are collabing on a grow up there.
Hey, they breeding beneficial organic mites right now.
They're out there. They're out there creating super bugs. You know, beating them.
Them motherfuckers don't nothing kill them. The motherfuckers, man, listen.
Oh, Christy Gatto. The best line from Fly was the one where the fly is like talking. One of the only scene I can remember from the movie where the fly turns to the human and was like, "That was your dad? That guy really bugged me." You guys ever seen that movie?
No.
Oh, there's an old movie from like the 80s called The Fly.
Yeah, I ain't never saw Tino. Your old ass seen The Fly.
They got the
I
Fly
ain't that
too as
fucking
well.
old.
That's some bullshit. Damn,
You,
man.
Yeah.
you guys are a whole generation above me.
Man, that motherfucker came out in black and white before it was color.
You guys, look, I'll let you guys here. Let me let you guys in on a little thing. If you have a smart TV, go to Tubi, and Tubi's got a hell of a collection of like 80s and 90s movies.
Right.
A lot of them are corny, but I was watching old like 90 movies that I saw that I haven't seen since I was a kid. Like I watched like was it Gleaming the Cube with Christian Slater, and then saw the one with what was the one with Billie Jean or Billie Jean or Billy Joe or whatever. What the fuck is that movie? I don't know why it escapes me right now. But the like another Christian Slater movie actually. But it was like, but they got a hell of a collection of like old school movies.
So I remember The Fly came out around when like Lawnmower Man came out and shit like that.
Lawnmower Man.
You know what movie I watched the other day?
What's that?
I wanted my kids to watch it. Fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, I just noticed.
Oh yeah. Well, did
What
it
up,
hold
Boyd?
up? Is it still good?
Oh, it was good. I mean, my kid was like, "This sucks. I'm out of here." You know, she didn't want to watch it, but she's only 5. But
The Fly came out in 1986. I was 2 years old personally.
1986. That's when I was born.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I'm tired
Thanks,
of you
Charles.
young motherfuckers.
Charles helped me out in the chat. The Legend of Billie Jean.
The Legend of Billie Jean. Okay.
90s
What up, Boyd?
movies is the best. 94. Go look up 94 if you want to watch it.
I don't know if you know you're in yet, Void. I let you in.
Secret door.
You hear that? That's the sound of fucking fire being made.
What is it?
But that's the sound of fire being made. The seed. Seed total.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Running it through the seed counter.
To the sorter. The sorter.
The sorter.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. We got a couple that Waldo. We've been using them for a number of years now, but Waldo makes them. He's been making some really cool ones too. I saw recently he made one out of walnut. It looked dope as shit.
Oh yeah, I don't got a fancy one like that. I got a small one.
Hey, if it gets the job done, right?
I like mine though. It's metal and it's small, compact. You know, I don't. Those other motherfucking things are too big.
We're still talking about seed counters, right?
Sorter. Oh, you're talking about a seed counter?
No. I was just joking.
Oh, fucker. The sorter. See, look, I got an easy seed.
Yeah, those are good.
These were good.
Yeah. Who joined?
Damn, man.
Vapor Void's in here with us.
Nice. Is he talking? Because I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either. He's got a black screen. I don't know if it's giving him issues on our end.
I don't think I could trust y'all if y'all ain't see RoboCop 1.
I've seen all the RoboCops. Come on, man.
Dude, they lit that guy up in that movie.
Reruns. The when they air, goddamn it.
How about Judge Dredd?
Oh my god.
That's 87.
Really?
87, 88.
We ain't talking color TV, all right, Tino?
Come on.
Judge Dredd.
Sylvester Stallone. Yep. I was just gonna say Judge Dredd, Demolition Man. There you go.
I am the law.
I cannot break the law. I am the law.
That movie, oh, they got some good classics. The movies like they don't make no more, like that movie The Game with Michael Douglas. They don't make movies.
Yeah,
they don't make movies like that no more.
That was good.
That was a good ass movie. You're like, damn, you never saw that shit coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you guys,
they don't make mind twisters like that no more. You know?
If you guys want to watch a movie, you know how movies always like they start off and then they tell a story and then it gets really good and then they have the downfall and then it has a happy ending. That's how like 99% of all movies, right? If you guys watch Arlington Road, I guarantee you will, after you hit the credits, you're gonna be so pissed off that a movie did that to you that you may, you'll be super pissed. Also, they stopped playing it because they stopped playing it after there was a lot of parallels to 9/11.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I have heard of it a few times.
Yeah, Arlington. Basically, the synopsis of Arlington Road is a professor that he loses his wife, and this neighbor moves in, and basically, the guy manages to the professor manages to drive the bomb underneath the FBI building, which creates an explosion, and then all the news is blaming the professor, even though it was the neighbor that facilitated the whole thing and manipulated the whole thing and made it happen. But when the news picked it up, it was all about, at the end of the movie, you're pissed because you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
You know, the movie pissed me off was fucking The Perfect Storm.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's a true story, right?
Yeah.
What's going on, Vapor? You know,
nobody wants to watch a true fucking story, all right? That's just fucking sad, right?
You guys want to know what movie really pissed me off? And I was so pissed, but I didn't know the Titanic sank. So when I watched that movie for 3 hours, I was disappointed at the end. I was like, son of a bitch.
He said I didn't know.
Hey, you know what movie was good as hell? Unusual Suspects.
Yeah. Kaiser Soze?
Yeah, that motherfucker there.
25 million.
No, your good movie was Money Talks.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Man, that shit was hilarious.
Void, can you hear us good?
I think he muted you.
he said nope.
Yeah, my favorite movie, Patrick Swayze and Ghost. You guys ever watch? You guys ever get down with? You guys ever get down with Jean-Claude Van Damme and shit?
Of course.
Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude was.
Nah, I don't know. I like Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Oh yeah, Tombstone.
Tombstone was the shit.
Tombstone was good.
That was one of my favorite movies of all time. Honestly,
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Times.
Yeah, Tombstone. I would say it like Tombstone and Braveheart, probably two movies that kind of taught us as a generation to be like to stand up and kind of fight for your shit. You know?
Exactly. Nope. Exactly.
Right.
Nope.
Oh, you outnumbered? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a challenge at that point.
We can't hear you, Void. I don't know if you're saying anything, but we can't hear you on our end.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear you.
Oh yeah.
There we
I
go.
thought he
Yeah,
was just mixing up some beats and shit. I thought
Right.
I was waiting for the beat to drop.
I thought
You
the cops was
see
outside.
this here?
I was about to say run.
Look, hold on. What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing the best I can, man. Glad to be here, man. Just ready to join this sesh
You
right
guys can
now.
hear him?
So Twisted said you came over from X. Is that right?
I can't hear
Yeah,
him at
yes,
all.
indeed. Yes, indeed. I've been we know we had our conversation on there, and it lasted.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, this is me.
Oh.
This is me.
That's what's up. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So for the people that don't know, Twisted and I fired up the X, and then this guy's account jumped on, so I just invited him to jump on, and it took him a minute, but he jumped on, and we talked for what? Almost close to like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, a few hours.
Yeah, that was cool as shit. Well, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I said y'all were talking about the leaf tips and stuff like that. I find that to be interesting. I know we digressed since then, so I'll let it go. But yeah.
No, we can dive back into it because if I recall, the conversation we were having on X was about a lot of bioscience based, right?
Indeed.
Yep.
I'm studying bioinformatics right now.
Okay, well, explain a little bit of that to everybody.
Okay, so to make it simple, does anyone here recall the old blood sugar test for diabetes? Used to be this big old brick thing they used to have to lug around, prick your finger, get a little bit of blood. Well, these days we have some that's like the size of a phone or smaller, or even attachable to a phone that can prick your blood and tell you your blood sugar levels and whatnot. Well, that's from the work of somebody who studies biology and technology and kind of combines it. So a bioinformationist, sorry, my tongue twisted up. But bioinformatics is about how technology and life combine, and I'm the person who bridges that gap. So that way we can see if you have cancer way before, we can see if you have diabetes way before, and it's more so about testing and finding things right now.
And so you're looking to go into that profession, but also apply it to plant science.
Of course, yep.
Okay.
So like how the grow equipment right now kind of tells you the data, it doesn't really interact with the plant. So like, for example, how we have Fitbits and stuff like that?
Yeah.
What if you could put a Fitbit on your plant, in the future?
Well, don't they sort of have that though? Like a couple companies are sort of working on that, aren't they?
Like the
Yeah, they're working on it, but they're working on it from the aspect of a little bit of science, but mostly financial gain. But bioinformatics is like on the forefront of science for the world right now.
Yeah. But do you think? So I get what you're saying. Is this something that's going to be able to tell? Because they already have like programs that'll tell you leaf temperature, room. It tells you basically everything about your grow space, right?
Right.
And then what I'm starting to see now is people starting to begin to integrate AI into their grow, which is going to be interesting because I don't think AI is going to be able to pick up on the amount of variabilities in between each strain and all that because it's not every environment is slightly different than everywhere else,
Allow me to speak on that part that you're saying. This is the difference between probing devices that tell you data and bioinformatics. Bioinformatics can go towards a direction that you can put this device on your plant and you can see which phenotype is being brought out from which parent. We're not there yet. You see what I'm saying? Like, what if you had a plant that was runt and a plant that was gelato, and you bred them together, and then you had this child, and now you're trying to figure out what is it? Well, you could potentially get that genetic data and say, well, this is this much this and this much that.
Well, you could okay. So right where you're at with that now, there's so you're basically talking about genetic mapping of the
Yes.
lineage, and that'll tell you. But that doesn't take away the fact that I could send a plant to, from Seattle, and I could send it to Litt. We could grow it at the exact same time, have relatively the same room parameters, but his
Right.
could turn out way different than mine, and vice versa,
Right.
because of where he's located and where he's at in the country. You know, right? So the genetics vary from which region of the country that you're in. You know.
Right.
Even in
I
controlled
understand
environment.
that the phenotype is just the genotype plus the environment, right? So what I'm saying to you is the genotype has to be there in the first place to be expressed in the phenotype,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And you're telling me about how the environment, the climate brings out the phenotype, right?
yes, but what I'm getting at is this is you're still 20, 30 years away from a lot of the data being even logged correctly or accurately. Because what you have for the past
That's what
20
we're doing
years,
now.
30 years is kind of like a pseudo log or pseudoscience, or not necessarily studied in an in-depth way like you would, like how corn is, right? They know everything about corn, they know everything about broccoli, they know everything about all other commodities, but cannabis is still a bit of a mystery. And so
That's
now,
change.
But there's more
what's that?
variety to cannabis anyways than all those other plant varieties too.
Right. That's going to change, and that's changing now because of people like me who give a damn about doing all this stuff that no one wants to really talk about. But just like they did corn, we're going to have to do this for cannabis. Just like they did tomatoes, just like they did all this stuff that they mass produced, we're going to have to really take a deep dive and a look into it. And how do we do this? Well, we're just humans. We use tools. And I'm part of the team who creates these tools for humans to use. And that's basically bioinformatics.
Yeah, so that, I guess where I'm getting at is now when we talk about the crops in this country, we used to have thousands of types of different apples. We used to have hundreds of different types of corn, and we've narrowed that down to like 2 or 3 varietals. And outside of that, if you get on, say, like the reservations around the country and all that, you'll have different varietals of corn that are still grown because it's more of a traditional aspect to them. But the overall, like, that's what I'm kind of afraid of is the science starts to catch up. Then there's a lot of the genetic diversity goes away because they want to concentrate on a certain set of character, DNA traits, right? And so a lot of stuff gets lost in the process, and that's just due to easier to grow, high yield, all that. And
Shelf life is a big one. When we're talking about big agriculture, most of the produce that we grow on the grand scale of things has been bred just for shelf life, like so they can sit it in a underground thing for months and then put it in the truck and then send it to the store and then it still lasts on the shelf. That's what they've been bringing this stuff to do.
But that's my point. Rest assured, if the powers that be and the people that control the country and control the industry, that's exactly what the plan and the pathway for cannabis is going to be. So unless there's some radical change or people kind of take the power into themselves and start beginning to fully recognize the character traits in this plant and how important those cannabinoids are and how important they are to the body, that's the only way that I think that this plant stays alive is by people understanding the cannabinoid aspect of it. Otherwise, they're only going to go with the highest yielding, easy to grow strains, and then it slowly whittles it down, and then we lose almost all genetic diversity in the process over the next 2 decades, 3 decades. It's going to be a completely different picture here in the coming years and in the next few decades, and it could go either way. So but that's why I'm saying is like when you start getting into the technical data and the science and the genome mapping and everything like that, there's sometimes a cost to that too as well. and then if they start being able to patent these particular genetic markers and patent the genetics, then that's gonna be basically held behind a wall. Or say for instance you had a hybrid between a hemp and cannabis plant, and it truly, without a doubt, shrunk tumors, right? That plant would be locked down so quickly, because that would literally cost the pharmaceutical industry and the medical or healthcare industry $1 trillion, over a short span of time. So that's why I think the science of it is keeping it open source, and so that way when people find a particular set of cultivars that do actually truly help them, that they share that information so other people can grow and benefit from it as well too. And then you can hold it and keep it alive, because it's truly helping. So the main thing is that if you take the money out of cannabis as far as like on the medicinal side, then this plant will be able to thrive